欢迎来到简单歌唱 Simple， 我是你的歌唱学师 Orange。今天我们邀请到 Adam， 是我们的创作大师伙伴，一起来跟我们一起听歌手2025。那 Adam 呢，他是来自美国，他的词曲创作以及音乐创作都有非常非常资深的经验。那他曾经呢也参与过中国好声音，还有梦想合唱团等等的节目制作。他不只是擅长创作与旋律还有歌词，对华语和西方的流行音乐的制作现场都非常有这个深的实战经验。那我们今天就是要来聊聊歌手2025。不过我这边先说一下我们今天录的这一集的时间其实距离第一集播出已经有一点距离了，所以我们没有打算要从头每一个歌手8位选手都看一轮，而是直接挑我们觉得最值得深聊的2位歌手，一位是来自中国的单依纯，一位是来自美国的 Mickey Guyton。那我们就从演唱的风格舞台的表现到歌曲它内在的情绪与创作的逻辑，而这些是我想要邀请 Adam 用他的专业制作人与创作者的角度来跟我们一起拆解看看。那我们现在就有请 Adam 来播出第一位歌手。
Thanks, Orange, for having me. I'm going to listen to Shan now. Wow, okay, so my first impression is she has a very soothing and calm voice. So it pulls the listener in right away. And the melody is very interesting too, from a songwriting perspective. It's pretty, and it has some unexpected little changes, specifically towards the end of that first phrase we just listened to. Really nice breathy tone. So let's continue on. So that was cool. In that second part we just listened to, she added a little bit more full voice into her tone, just a little bit. So it increased the emotional impact. In the beginning, when she started, it was more breathy, breathing a lot of air through her voice. And then later on, she added more, full voice with her, with the tone.
我也很喜欢他的气音。我这边有一个问题想问，因为其实你没有听过这首歌，但是我这首歌听了几次，我有一个问题想问。我觉得这首歌之所以会成功好听，还有一个点是，我觉得它很像一首歌。我不知道你有没有听过这个 Ariana Grande 的，他有一首叫做什么 Seven Rings， 我不知道你有听过吗？
Oh yes, I know that song.
他的前面有点那种感觉。
Yeah, that's a good comparison. I didn't make that connection, but now that you did, that's very cool. And yeah, there is a certain playfulness to the melody. I think in comparing Seven Rings, Ariana Grande with this song by Shan. Very cool. So let's continue on. Wow. Okay, so she demonstrated a lot. What we just listened to, she demonstrated power, holding out long notes, which also she needs to have control for that. So she demonstrated, power, control, and also just the ability to sing very intricate melodies. This is not an easy song to sing. Because if you don't have good pitch, it's not going to sound good. And she's hitting every note right on. I notice for whatever reason it's gotten a little bit more of a Chinese style sound to just not only the songwriting and the song itself, but her tendencies and her voice, which is very delicate sounding. And those intervals are probably more comfortable for a Chinese singer than American singer, I would say.
而且这首歌它是 live， 然后也没有修音，所以就是 Adam 你有提到他能够唱这个复杂的旋律，而且都非常准确，真的是非常不容易。因为我们也有学生试着去唱过，就是这首歌，就是那个音准要准都是一件很困难的事情，它同时又可以展现 power 啊，又可以展现各种不同的音色，真的非常的厉害。
And at the end of that last section we just listened to, there was a lot of notes and rhythm very quickly, and you have to be very precise to hit that. She's doing it very effortlessly, very naturally. So, yeah, she's definitely a professional sounding singer to me. Wow, so she shows that she can go from this breathy tone to this power, but it's not an in-your-face big voice power. It's a very controlled, and she maintains a pretty tone. So it's not like she's getting louder and it's sounding just more harsh, which is really nice. She must be very trained to be able to sing this way and be so relaxed, right? As you know, with your students and your singing courses, a lot of the process is getting your body to do proper technique through relaxing certain muscles, in your throat, and using your diaphragm and breathing correctly. And she has all of that pretty much at a very high level, like a masterful level of vocal singing. So it's really impressive. Wow, so to hit those really long notes and at a soft volume, you need to have really, really strong technique, vocal technique.
没错。
And, you know, to be able to hold those notes and not waver, and just, she looks like she's not out of breath at all. And she keeps on adding more notes. I also hear, in addition to the Chinese elements of the melody, there's a lot of jazz elements, American jazz, which is interesting. It's almost like American jazz singer. If you've heard of the word, have you heard of the word scatting?
不知道。
So scatting are jazz singers that basically improvise with sounds. So I'll scat right now. So they're almost mimicking instruments. Like it could be a saxophone, it could be a trumpet, and but that's actually me imitating a trumpet. But scatting was very popular in American jazz music, and it sounds to me that this kind of singer, she would be great at it. She would be it would be very natural for some musicians to play a song and let her kind of improvise a melody and just scat along. So there's a new word for your audience, scat.
你会这样觉得，应该是他刚刚应该有一段就是唱那个哒哒哒哒哒那个地方吧，就是可是他又不是，我觉得那边难的点就是，因为像 jazz 的 American 的那种 jazz， 他们就是可能会用一些没有意义的一些字，所以然后他难的地方是他又把这一段很快速的这个 melody， 他又有放了有意义的这个词，而且都是不好咬的字，就是喜怒哀乐。喜就是 happy 嘛，怒就 angry， 哀就是 sad， 然后乐就是也是乐不知道怎么讲，乐也是另外一种 happy 还是 joyful 之类的。对，他就把它唱成这个中文字，然后又用这个 scatting 的技巧，真是蛮厉害的，蛮厉害的。
Okay, it's the first time I heard her go slightly off pitch.
这边是 whistle note， 对对 ，whistle note， 他没有一开始没那么准。
Yeah, the whistle. Did you hear her just waver a little bit? I mean, it still was very nice live. The singers that I think of with whistle notes, of Ariana Grande, can do that. Before her, you know, Mariah Carey, the American singer, amazing vocal ability. Actually, a singer that I worked with named Charisse from the Philippines. She could do those kinds of those whistle notes, and she could also sing that high in her full voice, which I think Celine Dion, you know, I guess maybe Mariah Carey, maybe Whitney Houston, and Charisse. There are very few singers in the world that could actually sing that high, but with a full voice if they wanted to. So yeah, that's very cool. The whistle notes, and she wavered just a little bit, but it does. I don't think the audience cared, or I don't think they were disappointed, because everything else of the performance has been so stellar. So let's see how it ends.
我也同意。
失去明天，遇见我，别让今天交出我。
Very cool. I like how she brought the song down and added, the breathiness, but kept the emotion in there. And there was almost like a little crack in the breathiness. There wasn't like a clean, pure, breathy tone, but there was a little but not a crack of technical crack. Mm-hmm. It was an emotional crack, and that is good. Like, you want a voice to have emotion and deliver that. That's the most important thing. And sometimes it just makes me think about what's the most important elements in a live performance, particularly. And of course, I'm going to come back to the emotional impact of the singer delivering the melody and the lyrics, the words. And every once in a while, even a really good singer or a great singer will, make it an emotional crack, or sometimes technically sing off pitch. Or I'm thinking of Alicia Keys. Sometimes she will sing, and she sings with so much emotion and passion, so much heart, and sometimes she's off, but it doesn't matter because it's so authentic, it's so real, and she can sing, and sometimes it's a little off. It almost makes it sound more human. So there's a fine balance. If you're especially if you can write your own songs, like Alicia Keys writes her own songs, so you can get away with more vocal mistakes, even though they might not be considered mistakes by some people. Might like that authenticity, the rawness and relatability, because when I sing like that, I kind of go off pitch too, or they're thinking, a listener might be thinking, but man, I feel it. I believe her, and I'm glad that she didn't correct it on stage or in the recording. Even I'm glad she didn't use auto-tune to correct that. So using auto-tune is an art in and of itself. Like, when to use it, how much to use it, because you want to leave some of that emotion there too.
Adam 这边讲的完全同意，而且这个完完全全是一个我觉得更多是一个创作人的一个角度，因为很多像例如我们学员嘛，大家都是想要把唱歌的技巧弄得非常好，然后 Adam 这边是从创作或是说音乐制作的这个角度，这个真的是全新的一个角度，所以我们其实有时候是可以故意，或者是说可以允许我们自己去做出不完美的声音，这样子说对不对？那这样子做是不是其实对于听的人跟唱的人来讲，多多少少比起完美的声音，是不是会更有那种听这首歌，或者是说在欣赏这首歌的时候会有一种疗愈的效果，是不是可以这样子说？
Yes, that's it. That's exactly the right thing.
好，那这首歌也差不多到这边。那我比较好奇，因为我们待会要来第二首歌。好，第二首歌是那个美国歌手啊，他也是有葛莱美提名过的，非常非常厉害。那待会我们两首听完之后呢，我也想要 Adam 大师来稍微评价比较一下这两位。这是我比较好奇的观点，因为我们歌手2024第一季的第一集就是第一名是美国的歌手，那我觉得他们两个就是唱起来的风格蛮像的那所以我会好奇说，为什么这一次这个我先不要爆雷哈，为什么就是那我想知道 Adam 怎么看这一次的这个对比这两位歌手，就是单依纯跟美国的乡村歌手。
So I'm going to listen to the second singer, an American, Mickey Guyton, singing "If I Were a Boy," which Beyonce, I believe, sung. And and it was actually written by Toby Gad and BC Jean, producer, writer, and a songwriter. So, all right, let's listen to this next one.
even just for a day. I'd roll out of bed in the morning and throw on what I wanted and go. Drink beer with the guys and chase after girls. I could get with who I wanted, and I never get confronted for it, 'cause they stick up for me. If I were a boy.
Interesting. So right off the bat, Mickey's tone is completely different, of course, than Shan Yu-chun. It's a thicker voice. Her natural tendency is an R&B, so she's going to be slightly behind the beat, which is cool. The phrasing, she's going to be more about the phrasing than the technical delivery of Shan Yu-chun. It's interesting because I haven't heard this song in a while, the original, but I think she did not sing as high in the next section as the song normally goes. I thought it jumps the octave. I thought it goes up there, but she kind of lowered it. So I'm wondering, I guess I'm wondering what where she's going to go with it. So let's check it out.
Okay.
I think I could understand. Oh, how it feels to love a girl. I swear I'll be a better man. I listen to her, 'cause I know how it hurts.
That was really good. On Hurts, I could feel the hurt. She gave it a little gravel. Hurts. It was cool. I want to go back real quick to that just top of the melody, and then I'll skip that. Just I want to hear what she did there. It seems like she can hit all those notes. I'm just wondering why she made a choice to sing the melody a little bit lower right away. Let me see. Oh, there. Anyway, if I were a boy, if I were a boy, instead of going up there, I'm not in love with that choice. I will say.
我也没有很喜欢，但就是我觉得他有能力可以那样做，我也不知道为什么他要这样子做，因为后面其实他可以唱得到的，他那个 her 就唱得非常好，也很高，
Exactly.
可是他这边就选一个，就是
Exactly. I would have. I think. Yeah. I think you said it would have been better if she saved that for later. Like changing it up, like especially from a songwriter's perspective. This is something, you know, like a good message for all you singers out there. The most important thing to do to honor a song is to sing the melody the way the songwriter intended, and then maybe later on through the song, or make very very careful choices about when you're gonna do vocal runs and ad libs and add all these things and change it, because sometimes singers, they show off too much, and they're doing all these vocal tricks, and then the song loses the essence because the melody is the most important thing. So again, it's finding that balance of when to make a change and when to keep the melody straight. And I don't mean to be so hard on Mickey, because she's got a great voice. I mean, you could tell she's a veteran singer, and the chorus got better throughout it. So let's I'm going to skip now back to where she was before and see where it goes.
Okay.
And everything you had gone destroy if I were a boy. How y'all doing? I would turn off my phone.
So that's just, I'll make a quick comment. When she was like, how you all doing? That's kind of telling the audience, I'm so in control and I'm so relaxed that I can just like talk to you right now. And that's cool. That's, again, probably more of an R&B style, more probably in the pop or urban world. I can't imagine a Shan Yu-chun stopping, like, sing that song, like, hey, how? Yeah, ni hao, ni hao. Yeah, Jayo, Jayo. It's like it would obviously it doesn't fit the style, so but it just kind of made me laugh a little bit. Yeah, she's. It's like, okay, I've sung this song 1,000 times. I'm just gonna take a little break, see how y'all are doing, and then keep going. It's pretty funny. All right.
Tell everyone it's broken, so they think that I was sleeping alone. I put myself first and make the rules as I go.
So she scooped on that word first, which again can be effective technique, but it also can indicate that she lost the pitch for a second and was trying to recover. Again, the more confident you are on stage, particularly when you're delivering a vocal live, the more you can get away with that kind of scoop. If she was like nervous and she did that, you'd be like, oh, she's a little nervous. But she's so comfortable on stage that she's getting away with that, even though I don't love that choice as a singer for that part of the song. You know, she gets away with it. And that was a really nice phrase. 'Cause I know. I like that little change. That whole thing was good. It made sense. It was like a cool melodic, twist, so to speak. I think it veered a little bit from the melody, but if you make it like a little bit better than the original melody, then you're golden. So you have to, that's why it helps for singers to have some kind of songwriting experience or background or exposure, because it helps the song come across better if you know even a little bit about songwriting. Okay, that was very cool. She took us on a long journey there, right? A lot of power, a lot of emotion. She's holding out some notes. Again, this is a really challenging song to sing. When you pick a song by a great singer, like Beyonce, if you don't sound like as good or close, it's really hard for the listener to accept you. But if you're a really confident singer and you think you can pull it off or sing it even better, then go for it. It's always a risk, again, when a singer picks a song that is, you know, done by such a iconic singing, you know, one of the best singers we've had in the pop world in the last 30 years. And you talk about Beyonce, but she's doing a really, you know, solid job. It's not as polished as Shan Yi-chun, but that ending was really nice. That moment when she came down. So good job, Mickey.
But you're just a boy. You don't understand.
Ooh, something just caught me there really, really well. Like I all of a sudden I felt this like emotion and it made me want to cry when she just, it's right at the 3 minutes and 35 seconds mark. I'll tell you what happens. She goes, if I were a boy, and she just puts her hand right here.
Oh.
She just grabbed it here like she was gonna get choked up, like too emotional to sing. But it was so natural that all of a sudden I felt like, whoa, like you just really connected with the song, and now I'm feeling it. It might be too late to win against Shan Yi-chun, who was so perfect and polished the whole time. This is a little more up and down, but this moment there, that was really, really powerful. Again, those are great. You know, and you can't plan those. You have to just be in the moment and be present and feel what you're singing. And I was like caught off guard by that because she hadn't done that the whole song until towards the end. So let's see how she finishes it up pretty soon.
You don't understand.
Okay, so that part was like the most confident she was the entire song. And that was like, that if she could actually capture that throughout the whole song, not in terms of the power, because you have to, of course, you know, have different levels of intensity and volume and tone changes, but just that the way she just delivered that was like, she owns the stage. And that was really, really impressive. Doing this again.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, she's feeling it. She's trying to finish. Oh, were there? I thought she was gonna say another line. Does she have another line? Oh, she just stopped. I thought she was gonna sing one more. If there was a boy. Okay. I guess not. That was an interesting ending. It threw me for a loop because I thought she had one more line to sing. But she ended very, very strongly.
她没有把歌曲唱完，反而变得是更强大的这种，可以说留白吗？更强大的诠释啊，因为我们本来，因为我第一次看到的时候也是觉得说，哎，他应该把它唱完，哎，怎么最后就下台了？因为这代表他真的有跟这个歌曲去做结合，然后跟着真的对这首歌是非常有感觉的。对，所以他这不是演的，是真的。
So basically, in trying to compare, you know, the Chinese singer and the American singer, it's actually quite difficult to say like who is better and who's not, because they're completely different songs, they're completely different styles, and it's almost like comparing apples and oranges. Like, which fruit do you like better? You know, some people might say I like oranges. Some people might say I like apples. I don't know how they're evaluating the winner, or if they're just, you know, what the criteria are. If the criteria are, what was the most polished performance, like the most, you know, technically perfect performance, Shan Yi-chun wins easily. If they're saying what is the song that had the most authenticity or emotional connection, I mean, Mickey at the end really showed that. So it's again hard to evaluate. I think, given that it's a Chinese show, and are the judges Chinese?
他们有很多不同的评审，那现场可能有评审，然后他们也有那种网络评审，他们会邀请一些网络上比较有名的一些可能是主持人或是歌唱老师啊，来自世界不同各地的，有不同国家的，有说英文的，然后有可能说韩文的，有说不同语言的老师，我记得是不同国家的，然后他们会在线上听，然后给个分，然后可能最后做了一个总结这样子，最后
Do the judges vote on this, or is it the audience, or both?
就不是 audience， 可能在之后才会，就是他们的现场他们现场算是有评审吧，就是现场可能有一部分，然后线上的也有，因为他们会这个节目是 live， 他们会邀请世界各地不同的人，然后一起去听这首歌的 live， 然后听这个整个节目的 live， 然后最后做一个评分，所以它不像是传统的，例如中国好声音啊的 Voice of China，就是可能前面有4个评审，然后我就按个灯或是评个分，跟以往的传统的不太一样，所以它是有更多的元素啦，更多元素，然后未来可能是会有观众，然后还有那种票选的机制，应该是这样子。
Well, I can understand why Shan Yi-chun won. You know, it's, you know, again, from the technical and the effortlessness. She had such a very comfortable delivery, and a beautiful song. Again, very different. So it's not like I'm disappointed or like, why, you know, what were they thinking? Like, why didn't Mickey win? Mickey did a great job too, and she could have come in. She came in the second or third, I think.
第三名 third.
Yeah, so that's very solid. Again, a lot of times these evaluations, even when I worked on The Voice of China, and the Clash of the Choirs, particularly The Voice of China, though, the judges are making their evaluations on their own opinions and bias, and it's not always the best voice that wins. It might be just the voice that has an impact on the person judging or the audience or whoever is voting, you know, for that singer. I do believe, I think I might have said this, you know, before, that the audience can really sense when a singer is being true and authentic. So I think for all the singers out there, the more that you can learn what your voice is and what your voice can be, and stay true to that, and not try to become something that you're not. Like, basically, everybody has a voice inside, and you want to find your own voice in whatever way, you know, that's possible. But staying true to your own voice is always going to have the, you know, probably the most important impact on an audience.
那我这边最后想问一下 Adam，所以，这两位选手，他们的名次的差异会不会有可能是跟时代跟歌曲创作，或者是说创作的角度，或者说选歌的角度更更有关系呢？而不是说谁唱的比较怎么样更有关系。若是这两位选手来看的话，
That's an interesting question. You're referring to song choice as influencing the outcome of the ranking. I think that, of course, yeah, I think the song choice plays a huge part in where a singer can be ranked. But I think more important than that is for a singer to choose the right song for their voice. So, in other words, if Mickey was trying to sing the song that Shan Yi-chun sung, it would not come across correctly. And if Shan Yi-chun sung "If I Were a Boy," I'm wondering how that would sound. It would be a totally different interpretation. So, and it might not be the best fit. It might be like, whoa, that doesn't work. So again, one thing is knowing your voice, and then when you're picking a song to sing, you want to pick a song that showcases the best qualities of your voice. And what better way to do that than with a song that you love and enjoy singing, or a song that you have written yourself that is completely true to you. So, yeah, there are different ways to go with that.
那我想再问说，那如果是这样子的话，有没有什么可能 Mickey 会拿第一名，会赢？因为单依纯已经 perfect， 如果 Mickey 唱的是很 perfect 的方式去诠释《If I Were a Boy》这首歌，有没有机会会拿到第一名？还是其实是没有？那还是其实这个名次的决定还是跟大家个人的感觉有关系，跟技术跟歌曲选择这件事没有关系。
I think if Mickey started the song with with the same level of connection that she had with the song at the end and the audience, if she started that way, she could have gotten first place. For me, it was Shan Yi-chun's performance was right away. I was like engaged. I was pulled into the performance, and I was mesmerized, and I was just pleasantly surprised by the beautiful tone and the journey that it took me on. Whereas Mickey, it kind of was a slow build. And then, of course, we talked about the choice she made in the first chorus, changing the melody a little bit. It kind of threw me off. And then it was up and down performance. And then when it got towards the middle, and particularly towards the end, she really locked in. But like I said, I think that might have been too late for her to get first place. But if she did that kind of connection throughout the whole song, she could have gotten first.
同意，这个说法真的不错，不愧是 Adam 大师，用创作的角度，这样就可以很明显就可以知道说他们的在名字上为什么大家会这样子选。好，那今天这两首歌我们那个听下来之后，也确实收获蛮多的。那也再次感谢 Adam 大师给我们这么多细致的分析跟见解。
Well, I just wanted to thank you, Orange, again for having me. I enjoy discussing vocalists and singers' interpretations of songs, and from a songwriting perspective and producing perspective. And I hope that the singers out there those of you who are writing songs to continue to work on that craft, and those of you that are curious about writing songs, there's a lot that you can learn about, and hope to see you soon.
OK， 感谢 Adam 大师，那么今天就到这边啊，感谢各位，拜拜，
拜拜，再见。